Hey, what's up, guys? We're back with another edition of the Modern Coin Market. All right, this is a compilation of some of the most intriguing and relevant modern coins to sell online this week. If you joined us for our first inaugural edition of this Modern Coin Market video, I think it went pretty well. And again, we're going to be customizing it as we go and kind of improving upon it. What's different between this and the old outgoing Monday market report? Well, I could do this video any time of the week that I want, therefore the name change. And number two, we're going to try and scale it down as far as its overall length of size of video. Okay, gone are the days of the 30, 40-minute Monday market reports, albeit I think a few people enjoyed that sort of thing. But boy, man, it was a lot of work to get that video out and within a reasonable expected time frame. Most people expect it like on a Sunday night, Monday or whatever. And then when it drops on a Wednesday, people either get thrown for a loop or they get a little bit disappointed. So we don't want to do that. We want to be able to give you the quick bursts of information, what's happening in the market week in and week out. And I can honestly say the market's looking pretty good as we head into the waning days and weeks of the summer season. Generally, it's a little bit light, that we don't have as many investors and collectors buying up some of these big time coins, but it's been kind of like a role reversal. It's a complete 180 degree turn from what it should look like in the marketplace to where we're just seeing consistent sales each and every single week for some pretty nice coins. Not necessarily top pop, but a bunch of different indices within numismatics has been going relatively strong. So I figure without further ado, I've decided that we're going to do the eBay's top trending list of coin stuff and precious metals every week, just to see where everything is currently. So yeah, we'll go ahead and check it out. And here we are on eBay. So take a look at this web address, ebay.com/deals/trending/other-deals/coins, and it'll give you all of the like big time trending, what people are looking for. These are the main search type of items that consumers and collectors are typing into eBay. And as we can see, again, just like last week, we got silver, and we got more silver. We got some gold. We got scrap 90%, brand new reverse of 2021 Silver Eagles have kind of hit the ground running. And it's funny because I was talking to someone about this. And I'm like, you know what? These things are all over the place. And sure, the first time out, the first year of the release of this brand new, highly anticipated design Silver Eagle, they're going to be producing quite a bit of them. All right, but what's being kind of forgotten in all of this is that older design, reverse of 86, 2021 Silver Eagle. Yeah, good luck finding those for any reasonable amount of money because they have produced a far lot less of that coin. I heard 7.7 million, which for a standard Silver Eagle release is nothing compared to how much they usually produce. So that might even be the new key date of Silver Eagle. That's also what I've heard. Remains to be seen. Again, the market really has to shape itself together to make that determination. So that would be something to keep an eye out for here within the next 12 to 24 months as we continue to adopt the new reverse of 2021, or what I like to call the Ike Dollar reverse Silver Eagles. So it should be kind of fun to just kind of monitor things and see where it all heads up to or down. You really don't know because a lot of this really has to do with the PM market. If it's going good, it's going to go up anyways. So, But as you can see, just Silver Eagles. There's, I believe, our first Maple Leaf listing. These are actually $3 less than the Silver Eagle right now. So if you're looking for a little bit cheaper silver alternative, but you wanted to stay within a a notable mint Canadian. Maple Leafs are fantastic, I would say. And then there are things like this Armenian 999 fine 1 ouncer. Those are kind of like one of those one-off type of countries that you don't see a lot of bullion from. Those are also another smart buy as well. But there you go. Those are the top trending coin items for this past week. And yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys knew, but AppMex yesterday threw out a deal for a 10-ounce bar that collectively was $27 over spot for a 10-ounce bar. That's actually not too bad. That is certainly within the ballpark, if not maybe just a hair cheaper than what some of the other places are selling them for. So I think they were at like $279 or somewhere around there. Whereas like your Scottsdales and your Stackers, they're still sitting at 300 plus. So AppMex is no junk brand. They're one of the established assayers out there. But they did have a deal going on to 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you guys knew about it and you picked some up, good job. I just missed it by about 15 minutes. And that was... I got some intel from one of our friends on the live coin Q&A panel, and I just couldn't pull the trigger fast enough to obtain one of those. So I was too little, too late there, but that's okay. There will be other opportunities. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into some of the most interesting coins that sold here this last week. We do have a 1955 Lincoln Wheat cent. Beautiful coin when it's in like this kind of condition state. It's predominantly a brown graded coin with little hints of red in the protected areas like the date, the letters, around the bust of Lincoln. This is quite nice. As you can tell, it's got the little white prongs there on the image, so that only means one thing. This coin is graded. And it is in NGC Mint State 63 brown. Also CAC green bean as well. This one sold for $3,750, which I think is a pretty screaming deal for a Mint State 63, and especially a coin that looks like this. I think this is just an overall attractive piece. I have actually seen coins that have been graded like an AU58 that look far much worse, that sells pretty close to $3,000. These things are slowly creeping up in spite of the overall supply of these are pretty available out there. So there's no shortage of 55 double dies. There's actually quite a few of them that were produced. I would like to say by mistake, but with the reported numbers in which these were produced, it's pretty ridiculous to even think about it. Like, oh, how can they allow tens of thousands of these to be produced, before it got caught, was kind of like the big question. But anyways, this is a really solid sale, and then you get to see the sellers as well. A lot of high-profile sellers, HLRC_coins, sold this one here last week. The next one that we have here, this is one of my favorites, and I really don't have the opportunity to talk about a 1909S Indian head cent that often. All right, it's the second year in which there is a physical mint mark on the coin. It all started in 1908S, and that particular date can be affordable. If you're looking for one that's like an XF40 to an AU level type of coin, they could be at for a few $100, graded, which is nice. But 1909 is comparatively more valuable because they were produced in such small numbers. Again, this is one of those coins that you have to look at and kind of associate it along the lines of a few other particular dates. One that comes to mind is the 38D Buffalo and the transition page into the 38 Jefferson Nickels. So in 1909, the U.S. Mint had produced not only Indian head cents, but also it was the first year of the Lincoln cents. So people back in the heyday, over 100 years ago, actually used the 1909S. And I think very few people actually knew that it was a rarity during its day. But as you could tell, there are a ton of 1909 standard Philadelphia Lincoln cents that are in super high grade, ungraded, might I add, that are available in the marketplace. So that kind of gives you an idea of where people's and collectors' priorities lied at that time. Beautiful coin, by the way. Mint State 64 red brown. Also CAC green bean. Just an absolute stunner of a coin. And surprisingly, it's sold for, well, I have $2,840. I don't know if a BO was accepted, a best offer. But it's no surprise that David Lawrence Rare Coins consigned this one or sold it. And it's a very beautiful coin, and David Lawrence is probably one of the premier dealers online, whether it's on eBay, through his website, through his auction services. He has his footprint in the numismatic community by quite a stranglehold for sure. So that's a beautiful coin right there, and a great investment coin. Now this one will. Okay, kind of. It's a very thought-provoking listing. I looked at this. I'm like, oh, really? Jesus. But this is $10,000 face in bulk nickels. And just go ahead and read that kind of main line there. In 50 or more bank bags circulated, Jefferson Nickels. It says fast. I don't know what fast means. Maybe the shipping. But this individual has sold 8 lots of $10,000 face in nickels for $12,840. So that's an extra, $2,800 a pop. If you backed away some of the fees, you're probably netting about $2,300 at that point at shipping. Because this person is offering free shipping, so I don't even know how much that looks like for 10,000 nickels or $10,000 in nickels. That's a lot. But as you can see, there's even discounted bulk deals here if you bought 2 lots, 3 lots. This is just a really fascinating listing. Like, I didn't know that you could possibly make money off of doing something like this. So there has to be some sort of story, or, there's got to be a catch to all this, right? Why is this person making $2,800 per lot before fees? So we're just going to go ahead and read the listing here. These are 100% unopened, machine-counted, sealed banker's bags. Okay, so no rolls. These aren't going to be boxed up or anything like that. Of Jefferson Nickels, the machines either bag $100 bags or $200 bags. So kind of like one of those change counters that you see at some credit unions and other banks. I suppose those are filled up, in much the same fashion in those clear bags. Or $200 bags, whichever is ideal for the shipment times. Wow, $200 bags. And we may mix in some $100 bags. Can you imagine how heavy that shipment is? Now I'm beginning to kind of like second guess the amount of profit this person's making. What if it costs like $1,000 to ship this, or $1,500? That's going to seriously eat into your profit. Always $10,000 face value, about 2,200 pounds. Jesus, that's like shipping a car across the country, which is pricey. I don't know if these can stand and hold onto a pallet without busting it. I'm really not sure. More pictures to come. Handling time will have to be at least 5 business days, yada yada. Definitely a freight trucking shipping is how this one's going to get to you. It's still a great way to bulk up and faster than most can handle. Especially, now we know why there's a friggin' coin shortage. Because this guy hoarded all the nickels. No, I'm just kidding. My findings include proofs. This is where it gets interesting. And these are basic nickels. Like, you could find anything in these, right? If you went to the bank and got a box of nickels, you could find anything compared to what this guy had found. So I include proofs, wartime silver, blank planchets, collectibles, probably errors in there, uncirculateds, 2009s, which are a very tough key date, 1939s, and 1 V nickel. There is no telling what you will find, but each bag usually has coins worth keeping. I usually hang on to the older 1940s and 50s nickels, like I do, even the non-silver, and have found a few from 39 and a Buffalo. I have looked through about 10 full $200 bags worth of my own. So that's very interesting. But Yeah, I'm beginning to second guess the actual amount of profit this individual is making. I'm sure he or she is making about 500 bucks, but yeah, this is hard work right here. You have to obtain the coins, number one. Number two, you have to take the time to prep it for shipment. Like, how does that look like? You can't ship them, I'm sure, just in the bag. So do they go in these large ballistic boxes, kind of similar to what the U.S. Mint uses to transport, like blank planchets from their supplier, things like that? I don't know, but yeah, this is very intriguing, and I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to know more of the logistical stuff involved in dealing with this. Because me personally, I wouldn't do it. I just don't have the bandwidth to, obtain that kind of coin. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Very, very thought provoking. So you could take it at how it is, or maybe if you guys have any theories as to what's going on here with this listing, would love to know. But the profit, I'm sure, isn't as what it appears. I'm sure, this individual is making like 500 to 1,000 bucks, and that's it. All right, so the next one that we have here, this is the feature coin of the week, sold by a regular error coin dealer that we all know and love. At least I know this individual, not personally, but he is all over the place. This is a 1977S Jefferson copper. All right, this is actually struck onto a copper planchet that was intended for a penny. All right, a bronze penny. Let's just say 77 penny, What's most intriguing about this coin is that it's a proof coin, which means this was in a proof set at one point. The grade, phenomenal. Proof 66 red brown. So it's oxidized a little bit. It was probably like that coming out of the set. But just a beautiful looking error coin right here. And Sullivan Numismatics, of course. Again, another individual in the coin community that has a pretty big footprint in the error coin world, most specifically, but numismatics in general. I kind of find it pretty cool that his feedback is all eights. Fancy serial number right there. But this one sold for $3,100. I would say I'd rather sell this than $10,000 in nickels, having to do all the heavy work and then only make a few $100 profit. I don't know. That's just me. But this is a really beautiful coin right here, and, one in which, again, came out of a proof set. So make sure you look through those proof sets. There are errors to be found all day long. How about a nice raw coin here for you? Now, I talked about one of these last week, but I've always kind of pledged that if you had a rare, very valuable variety or an error, that you should probably grade it. Only because it's going to be a much easier sale for yourself when you do sell it. All right. People love to buy something like this that's already graded as opposed to one that's raw. But this kind of proves the counterpoint that even things like this, you can sell raw. You just need to know what you're looking at to make sure it's not a counterfeit. This one is 100% legit based off of what I see. The flow lines, just, the diagnostical features. If you were to counterfeit this, it'll look really bad. I've seen some bad counterfeits of this one, but it's a 1918 over 7. It's a Denver minted Buffalo nickel. This is the premier overdate of the Buffalo nickel series, and probably one of the premier overdates in U.S. coins of the 20th century anyways. But this one appears to be like maybe a fine 12. If I had to guess a grade, you do have a partial like 50% horn right here. So that's why I say it's about a fine 12. It's a really clean coin compared to the last week's coin where it was a details grade. This one is fantastic. I would feel comfortable sending this one off to NGC or PCGS. But this one right here realized $2,480, and it was sold by Demo and Dom PQ Rarities. Okay, well, they must be pretty good. They got 4,600 feedback and pretty good return, 99.8. That's standard for a good seller. $2,480. Okay, so this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably a much more reasonable coin to find in a proof set. It's a 1983, no S. So this is one of those dates of Roosevelt dimes where there were no mint mark. All right, it's supposed to have an S mint mark right above the date, as you would normally see it for a proof Roosevelt. This one is a PCGS Proof 70 deep cameo. Looks every bit of it as well. So how much does a perfect 70 no S variety 83 sell for? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. How about $3,562? This one was through 101 bids. So it grew organically from probably $1 and worked its way up to over $3,500. It was sold by Hoosier Daddy Coin Shop, or Hoosier Coin Shop rather. I just love saying that though. Of course, they're in Indiana, home of the Hoosiers. But just a beautiful coin. Again, this is one to keep an eye out for. This is a top pop coin, 1 of 10 in a perfect 70. So that's what you would expect to sell your coin for if it did come back a 70. Is around $3,500 to $4,000. Really stunning auction. Here's a variety that seldom gets looked for except by the diehard variety hunters. All right, you guys know who you are. It's a 19050. Don't let the graded slab fool you. It is ICG, and people have their reservations about buying any ICG slab, but I think they're probably just as good as some of the other graders out there. Their slabs are just butt ugly. I'm not a fan of either the slab or the label. But this is the Micro O mint mark. So I superimposed the reverse so you can see the size of that O mint mark. It is quite a bit smaller than a traditional New Orleans mint mark, which is going to be a little bit fatter and taller. Obviously, I mean, you know, if it's bigger than a Micro O. This is a rare one here. Grade-wise, ICG Mint State 62. It looks like a 62, and this one sold for... I would assume somewhere south of $2,799. So best offer was indeed accepted. This one was sold by PC Repairers. Okay, so it looks like they crossed over the coins, which is a very smart idea considering how hot the coin market has been. Here's a quick little kind of update on 2020 full rolls of West Point quarters. We have 2 lots of Weir Farm that actually sold on the same day, just a few hours apart. But take a look at the realized prices on these two. The bottom roll sold for $500. The one above it, $470 with $5 shipping. But boom, yeah, these things are flying up there. Average price wise, you can't get these for under $10 anymore, where a few months ago you could, when these were selling for under $300 a roll. So yeah, these are on the move. Make sure you keep an eye out for them. Only one of the big time key dates, I would say, right? But we have a 1916 Standing Liberty quarter. This time it's an NGC XF45. This particular grade right here, the date gets pretty weak. And again, that's the way that these things were crafted, is that the date was set very high on the relief, where it was one of the first things that wore out first. So you find these even as low as maybe VF 2025 with a completely missing date. Maybe there's a couple digits with the tops of them that are showing, but yeah, these things, when they wear badly. But this is just a beautiful, market acceptable example. One in which, if you were putting together a date set, obviously you would need something like this because it's the, again, premier key date at only 52,000 minted. This one sold for $9,500 by Robert Trumsby, all right, who is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Beautiful quarter right here. Although the listing, I probably would have added like the grade and all that. So I don't know what the deal is here for the seller. You know, with only a feedback of $295, they're still a little green, but I would trust them with this coin. Another Standing Liberty quarter, this time a 1920. All right. What's even more remarkable is that this is not a full head. So again, you don't need full head strike designation or full steps on some of the Jefferson Nickels or what have you in order to realize the very valuable coin. 1920, not exactly kind of like your garden variety. You could find it anywhere in mint state grade quarter, but it is a little bit more common than some of the other dates to be found. Beautiful, very lustrous. It's even graded in the 30th anniversary original holder style label, which this is a modern. You're able to pay for this service to get the retro label. Pretty cool. And this one right here sold for $3,562.49. Coin Slabs 26 is a staple on eBay for high-end coins. So definitely a trustworthy seller from Florida. All right. Candy half dollar time, and we have a pretty cool one right here. This is actually a broad struck 1990p. A really modern coin. It's not one that's going to blow you away as far as the size of the broad strike or whatever. But finding broad strikes in any candy half dollar is pretty tough compared to some of the smaller denominations of coins, like, say, for example, pennies and nickels and dimes. When you get to the bigger sized coins, broad strikes are a little bit tougher to find. And, these things, the mint presses just don't fail as frequently in keeping the coins in the striking chamber. But this, can you imagine just finding this in a box of half dollars? All right. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's cute. It's got a little minor broad strike on there. Not thinking anything of it, but this one is an NGC Mint State 64. You're never going to guess how much this one brought. Okay, there you go. So use your imagination. I would say it probably sold for $1,500 to $2,000. Again, a very difficult error to locate on this particular denomination. And yeah, Dream Trophy sold this one on eBay here last week. And the final coin that we're going to talk about, or coins, we're just going to go ahead and update the brand new release 2021 West Point American Silver Eagle dollar coins. These are the proof editions. They are the Type 2 reverse or reverse of 2021. These released last Tuesday, sold out in under 20 minutes. Some say 16, some have said 18 minutes. But there you go. Another successful US Mint product. These are realizing just a scad over double list price, which was $73. And apparently there's been a few people that have paid up for expedited shipping, so that'll eat into the profit a little bit. And ironically, that's the one that sold for the least amount of money on this page right here. But you can see these are all very recent, within the last day or two. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, again, this is going to be a strong seller. I would presume, and so will the 2021 S proof. That'll be coming out here in the next few months. So definitely keep an eye out for these. They are, I would say, projected to drop in value some. But seeing as how these were strategically released over the summer, later in the summer, and then when we get to the holidays, these things are going to just stay the market price that they are. Because people are going to buy them as gifts. So people will pay $150 to $175 to own an example to give away to a family member or a friend or whatever. So pretty interesting, really neat. Glad to see the market just robust on these brand new Silver Eagles alongside the regular, silver bullion BU types. It's going to be interesting to see. Again, keep an eye out on the Type 1 reverse Silver Eagles that were released earlier in the year. Extremely limited quantities, low mintages. Along with that proof that came out also earlier in the year. They're all going to be future spec pieces. And that's only based off of the popularity of the silver market as it sits. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy to see where it's going to go as we head into the fall months. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all your support, as always, to the Blue Ridge Silverhound channel. Also, check out my other channel where I talk about other collectibles. It's called Blue Ridge Collectibles, all one word. Don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to this video if you enjoy today's content in the Modern Coin Market episode. And also, I am back on Facebook. Okay, you can reach me there as well. It's Blue Ridge Silverhound, all one word, space collectibles. So come on down. We're going to do exclusive live, Facebook Live type events on there. Among a few other things. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. I'm your host, Sean, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.